In the legal world, there is a combination of forces that feed a corrupt and suffocating legal system for attorneys. Law schools, law professionals, judges, and even the firms themselves for whom you work create a system, a matrix, if you will, that is nothing like what you thought when you passed the bar exam. The purpose of this podcast is to help you escape this legal matrix, leading you out of the proverbial desert to be free of the bondage of the matrix. Hosted by Bryce D. Nyer, attorney at law with over 30 years experience in the trenches of civil and criminal litigation at the state, federal, and international levels. He's a highly accomplished and resourceful legal professional, a true master of his craft, and he's here to help you get your life back. Here's your host, Bryce D. Nyer.
Hello. It's another episode of Escape from the Legal Matrix, an attorney's exodus from legal bondage with yours truly, Bryce D. Nyer, from the great state of North Carolina, located here in Fayetteville, home of the 82nd Airborne, 18th Airborne Corps, and all those Special Forces folks over there at Fort Bragg, now known as Fort Liberty. But again, I'll never call it Fort Liberty. It's Fort Bragg to me always. So how is everybody out there doing today? How's your life? What's going on? Because what we're going to talk about out there is this thing about there must be something better out there, or for you simple folks, the grass is greener on the other side. Well, guess what? The grass is greener on the other side sometimes. You know you got this problem because you know the grass is greener on the other side. You know it is. You've heard your whole life it isn't. But come on. That was said by those who were cowards to change their life. Cowards. Didn't want to do it. Not at all. They did not want to even attempt to cross the fence to see if Miracle Grow had been used across that fence. Instead, they stayed where the grass had been burned to the ground like their lives. And hey, they made it worse. Why? Because they failed to take the leap and to go see the possibilities. Because you'll never know, and you'll always live in this world of woulda, coulda, shoulda, and guess who you're going to hate? Oh, it won't be everybody else. You will hate yourself. You will. You'll hate yourself. You can't help it. You look back one day, years down the road, especially in the legal profession, and be like, man, if I just made that change, if I just hopped over that fence. I was looking with binoculars from afar, and I could see, look at the waves of green grass. Look at them. But no, I stayed in the barren desert. I didn't leave my nation like Abraham did. Nope, I stayed and I suffered. Yeah, I've been there. I get it. I remember so many times in my life when, I would sit there and I'm like, God, there's just got to be something better, something better out there. And there were times, I didn't take the risk. I was scared. I had fear, F-E-A-R, fear. Fear is real to most people. A little bit of fear is okay. Keeps you on your toes. Too much fear, and it paralyzes you to take no action. And when you take no action, that's taking action because you're not taking any action. Sounds like a contradiction, doesn't it? But it's not. Because you either do something or you don't. Just like, I'm going to try and do something. Well, you either do it or you don't. You don't try, you do it. If you don't do it, it's like picking up a pencil. I tried to pick up a pencil. No, you didn't pick it up. You didn't pick it up. That's like attempted murder. You either murder somebody or you don't. I made an attempt. Well, you screwed up. You didn't do it. So you're a bad murderer. So, again, what are you looking at in your life? What are you looking at? Where is it in your life where you're just standing around and there's like a bunch of cow patties and grass is all brown, burned, sand, dust, desert, and you're wandering like Moses in the desert. You're just wandering and wandering and wandering. And you're like, I know there's a promised land there. I know there is. See, that's the way I felt for a time when, I was on active duty. And again, I love my country, and it was a privilege to be an Army officer. It was. And my country sent me overseas, and I got to work with some great people, lead some great people, follow some great people. But I just sat there that day, and I'm like, is this it for me? Something inside me, it just ate and ate and ate at me. I'm like, oh my God, what is this thorn in my side that won't go away? What is this quench, this thirst, that's going on inside me that just won't let me be still, won't give me peace. And again, I can remember just sitting there that day going, I want to go to law school. I want to go to law school. It just popped in my head. I mean, just never been interested before. I had some friends over in Europe. They were in the JAG, Judge Advocate General Corps. I did some, things with military justice, but not being an actual attorney because I wasn't an attorney in the Army. And I can remember, I'm just like, I was looking out over those fields in Germany that day, drinking a couple heavy Weiss and beers. And of course, there were horses and cows out there and they were just chilling out. It was a beautiful day and the grass really was green and lush where they all were standing. And I was up there in that balcony just sipping on that ice cold heavy Weiss. And I'm like, man, the grass is green for them. It's all lush and they're happy and, they're just chilling out. And I was just sitting there going, man, there's just something else out there for me. So eventually, the story, I went to law school, got out, passed the bar exam and, started, my first job as assistant public defender. And I really liked it. I was litigating, every day. I mean, that's what you do when you're young. You want to go in the courtroom and you want to defend people and you want to save the world, save the client. And after a couple of months, I'm like, okay, now what? Then I got this call and it was an offer to come be an associate in private practice. And I'm like, okay, I'm kind of chill where I am. I was really kind of afraid, I was like, I got a guaranteed salary, benefits, and here I don't know this guy, I don't know this firm, and I drove 35 miles up the road, did an interview, and beautiful office, beautiful, and so I accepted the offer and I left my government job and went into private practice as an associate. And after roughly about 18 months, and again, great boss, well respected, one of the best in the nation, very well to do. Just a great lawyer, just a true entrepreneur too. Not just a lawyer, but an entrepreneur, just sharp. But after about 18 months, I was saying to myself, man, I'm in trial every day. Is this all there is for me? I was young. I was very young. I was like, where am I going with this? And then I thought about, is there a calling for the greener grass on the other side again? And so I spoke to another lawyer that was asking the same question. Like, hey, man, I'm not getting paid, what I'm worth, and they're not. And he was miserable, and he just didn't want to do it anymore. And his wife had a great job. She was in the medical field making good money. So, really, he didn't have to work. But he asked the same question, is this all there is? And so we decided we would open a law firm together, and he gave notice, I gave notice. And then we made that leap of faith. And we made that leap of faith going into opening this firm. And we stayed together for about 10 years. And then one day, same thing, I wake and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore, man. This is not fun. It's fun. It's miserable. I'm like, God, man, I'm staying in a desert again. And I said, I felt that thorn in my side again. I felt this quench, this thirst. And, I was just like, what is it? What is going on every few years? And I realized and I discovered that in your life, there's always going to be a need for a shift. Now, some people call it a pivot. Some of the organizations I belong to, they call it a shift. Shift, pivot, move, rise, whatever you want to call it. There's just going to be a major change or a major transformation in your life. And after 10 years of being, in this law partnership, I got tired of it. I got fed up with it. There were some things I didn't like about it. It was starting to be a drain on me. It was starting to cause me pain. Major pain. I was having conflicts with my law partner and for good reason. And so one day I said, that's it. I'm done. And I had valid reasons to, go out on my own. And that's exactly what I did. Once I went out on my own, I was in more of control about what we were going to do, what we were not going to do, and how we were going to handle things, and the whole policies and procedures, and how I was going to run my legal way of life. And for a season, I'm in charge. Nobody else I have to answer to. I don't have to ask anybody. I'm the commander, man. I'm the commander of this ship. We're moving forward. That's it. The end. And that went on for a while. And kind of like things like, sometimes in marriage, you're like, oh, man, This sucks. Is the grass greener on the other side? People go, it's not green, you're on the other side. It's just the way you're feeling. You got to work at your marriage. I'm like, then in my life, after all these years, I'm like, bullshit. The grass can be greener on the other side. It surely can be. Because when you're in a desert and you got no water and the sun's beating down on you and you're burning to death and roasting, and then across the fence, like, oh my God, there's an oasis. It's a real one. Green grass, palm trees, shade, water, relief. And sometimes it is. Sometimes it is a better life. Sometimes you're in toxic relationships. You could be in a toxic relationship in the legal profession with your own profession. And for me, I was in that type of toxic relationship. So, the years were going forward. And just that one day, a couple years ago, sitting there and sipping on a beer, cold beer, good beer too. And, across the screen came this opportunity and possibility of this organization. And I'm like, wow. I've never heard anybody speak like this. I've never heard of this type of thing for a man to rise as a king, the possibilities. And I joined this organization. And I have to tell you, it was dynamic in the way that it changed my life and the way that I viewed things. And I finally realized that I'm accountable and responsible for what I do or fail to do. And if I'm standing in a desert, it's because I put myself there. If my life is burning to the ground, I did it. I lit the fire. And see, that's what's going to happen in the legal profession for all you law students, young lawyers, or lawyers trying to make that shift, that transition, that transformation from working for somebody else, being a slave to the matrix, being a slave to the law firm, the partners, whoever it is, and you're sitting there at your desk, you're like, God, there's just got to be something better out there. And you're going to feel that gnawing at you, that thorn in your side. You're going to feel it. You are. It's going to come at you. It's going to come at you like a tsunami. And it's not going to go away. And you're going to feel this pain. And until you take some action, which is what I learned the hard way, that pain's not going to stop. And so the question was, what do I do? Well, when I joined the particular organization, I'll tell you what it is. It's Wake Up Warrior, founded by Garrett J. White. He's CEO and founder. And just it's not a happy, clappy organization. It's get shit done. Be accountable. Tell the truth. Live in truth. And that was one of the first things when you look for the grass on the green, is the grass green on the other side, you have to be truthful, not to everybody else, but to yourself. You have to answer those questions. And there are many of them. One of them is, what do I really want? What do I want? And I didn't know that. I you think you know what you want, but what most people do, and what I did for a long time, and Warrior was right, was I was like, wow, this is what I don't want. And people were like, well, do you even know what the hell you want? And I'm like, and I'd stumble on my words, and I'd be like, blah, 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 blah. And I didn't know what the hell I wanted. I thought I did. But when you get in this legal profession, especially those that, when you're taking the bar exam and you're waiting on your results, and maybe you have jobs lined up, maybe you don't. And a lot of you are like, hell, man, I just want a job. I'll take anything I can get. And I'm like, oh, you don't want to do that. Yeah, you need money, you need benefits, and maybe you're not a trust fund baby and you're out of money, and I guess maybe that's what you have to do. But if you stay in something too long that you join to be, just for that reason, you're going to hate your life, because you're going to be there so long that the matrix is going to take you over and you can't get the hell out. You can't make it to the fence, to leap the fence, to get to the greener grass on the other side, and you're stuck with the tumbleweeds, man, the dirt, the desert, the sand, the windstorms, the armadillos, the dead ones. Okay? That's what you're eating, dead armadillos. And you just get to that point in the legal profession where if you're not careful, you'll just coast along and say, it's all good. It's all fine. My life's good. And your life sucks. It does suck. You know it sucks. You bitch and you moan and you complain and whine, and people get tired of hearing it. And you're like, well, then make a change. You're like, No, I'm good. I'm fine. Just the way life is. It's my lot in life. I'm like, oh my God. It's not. I felt that way for a long time too. Well, this is what I have to do. I have to stay in this lane. I have to do this, do that, be like this, be like that, dress like this, like that, and be contained in this box, in this legal matrix until you go out of your mind. You go out of your mind. You do. And you won't quit. Because again, you'll go to bed at night and at 2 a.m, 1 a.m, 3 a.m, you'll awaken. And it will just hit you. You'll be there in the darkness, the quiet, and the only thing you can hear is what's going on inside your head. And you're like, man, it's a couple more hours, I gotta get up and do all this shit all over again. And you don't want to do it. And there you go. You go to work, you look out the window, and you're like, oh my God, look over there in that green pasture over there. And people are waving to you, and you're like, come on, man, come on, come on, come on. You can see them, like, come on, make it, come on, make that journey, make that transformation, that transition. We did. And it is difficult. It's hard. It's painful. I know it is. I've done it. I'm doing it now. I mean, all these years of practicing law, and I just got to those crossroads where I'm like, I'm having that thorn in the side moment again. Like the Apostle Paul, that thorn in the side. And the pain just doesn't go away. And I'm at that point. I'm at that crossroads. I either stay or I go. And I move forward. So I understand where a lot of you are because I've been there. Now, I can't say I know exactly how each one of you individually feels because everybody feels a different way. What I can say is I know there's a pain associated with not pursuing the greener grass on the other side when the possibilities to the path of your potential sits right in front of you. And when you let it pass you by, the pain intensifies. And see, that's what the legal matrix does. That's what it does. It injects you with the Novocaine of, I'm good, it's okay, just stay where you are, stay in the lane, don't turn left, don't turn right, just go where we tell you to go. And you become so numb to the possibilities of expanding your life, of being able to make that leap over the fence to the greener pasture that you're stuck in where? The tumbleweeds. And what are you eating? The dead armadillo meat. That's it. Roadkill. You're getting the scraps. And who's throwing you the scraps? The people on the other side of that fence where the grass is most assuredly greener. So a lot of people don't want you to rise. They don't want you to escape because they don't have the courage. They don't have the energy. They don't have the fortitude to do what needs to be done. And what is that? Transform themselves. Shift, pivot, move, march forward. Not backwards, forward. Head toward the greener grass. Don't listen to the naysayers that say, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. The hell it's not. It is. There's always greener pastures. You just have to go seek them out. You have to go find them. You have to look. You have to look for the doors of the possibilities and the potential to get the freedom to escape from the legal matrix and get on that exodus and free yourself from the legal bondage that you're in. And if you wait 20 and 30 years, you're going to be the walking dead and you're just going to die in place. And you're going to look back and say, I woulda, I coulda, I shoulda, which is what I've done in my life. And let me tell you, folks, that is a horrible, horrible feeling to look yourself in the mirror, to just look yourself right in that mirror and say, if I had just done this, if I had just said this, if I had just made this move. It's never too late to go to the other pastures. It's not. You don't want to be put out to pasture like some, old cow that's going to die and you're out to pasture like a horse and go into the glue factory. That's not what I'm talking about. You can die inside emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And then if you're not careful, if you stay in the legal matrix too long, you could actually physically, literally die. Yeah. It's possible. It's absolutely possible. Because how you feel, what you do, your reaction, all the stress, all the hell you're going through, it's going to affect you, man. It's going to affect your body. It will. You'll wake up one day dead. And nobody's going to care. They're not. If you're in a big law firm, you're just an associate, be like, we got to find somebody to cover your cases. That's it. They'll do some small thing like, we miss you, blah, 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 but you're dead. And all those people on the other side in the green pasture are just like, man, we tried to get he or she over here. We kept saying, come on. And what did you do? You ignored it. You said, I'm good. I'm fine. No problem. I'm good in my lane. I'm good. No problem here. But you know you're lying to yourself. You know you are. You know, I know that your life is not fine. It's not good. It's not. If it was, you wouldn't be listening to this. You wouldn't. And in your head right now, you're thinking, and then you're thinking, well, you know, it's not so great. It's not so good. It's not. And I know myself personally and professionally, I've been there many times. And I'm telling you, I'm there again. I'm at this crossroads. And I want the pain to stop. And the only way that I'm going to get this pain to stop, the only way, is I have to take action. Now, I can't be you. I can't make you do anything. All I can do is share with you my stories about how I took that leap of faith and found not just greener grass, but a frickin' pasture of lush green grass at times in my life. And you have to stand up. You have to dust off. You have to kick the tumbleweeds away, quit eating the dead armadillo, and march forward to that fence. And you need to climb it, hike it, pole vault over it, handstand over it, whatever you need to do, but you need to get over it. And you need to land feet first, standing up, tall and proud, and keep marching forward in the green grass. Because, folks, I'm telling you, there is greener grass. There is a tomorrow. If you pursue it, you have possibilities, potential, and you have a path. And those possibilities in that path won't happen overnight. Won't happen with just this call. You can sit in the sagebrush, you can eat sticks, or you can graze on that plush green grass. But you cannot do it on your own. You can try, but you can't. Even though nobody's coming to save you, you still have to have the skill sets, the tools, the knowledge, the training to make that transformation shift. You need to have those conversations with me. Over 3 decades fighting the legal matrix. I'm a scarred warrior, and I'm still alive. I'm still fighting. I'm still battling. I'm still warring. I'm not done. I'm colliding to beat the legal matrix down, and it can be done. It can be done. The legal matrix is not invincible. Not if you build an army of lawyers, not if you build an army of you to move forward. So if you're ready to move forward, if you're ready to make that leap of faith, if you're ready to transform your life, then you need to have more conversations with me. You need to do it now. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is not yet arrived. And what you have is right now, today. Don't sit on the fence. Do not sit on the fence. Cross it. Cross it. And get to the other side. With me. All right, folks. You heard the message. You heard the call. You've got to take action. So until our next session, our next conversation, get on that phone. Get on that computer, that keyboard. Reach out to me. Reach out to me. Connect with me. Hire me. Consult with me. Let me give you the tools, the possibilities, and the weapons for your freedom from the legal matrix and end the legal bondage and the bondage of life, personally and professionally, that you're in right now. Love and light, this is Bryce, out here.